Okay, so it's been a long time since I have done an update video, and as you can see, we have got a long way since the last one. This is just a brief video. I want to go over some things. This is my 87 F150, and it has the 302 in it, and it was electronic fuel injection, and basically, I went through the motor, pulled it out. I always want to do a carb swap, so that's what I'm doing, as you can tell. Went through the motor, completely rebuilt the bottom end, stock bore, Molly bearings, Molly sealed power rings, brand new oil pump, hone job, brand new freeze plugs, cam bearings. I put a Lunati 525 by 539 lift cam in it. Stock pistons, they were in really good shape. No point in buying new ones when they're fine. This motor only had 100,000 miles on it. We've got a double roller timing chain, bigger valve springs, racing exhaust valves, oh yeah, and hydraulic flat tappet lifters. We've got crane cams, stud mount rocker arm conversion kit on here to get rid of the pedestal rocker style arms, and the kit was about $125, and then I got crane cams, extruded energy roller rockers on. I have got a Edelbrock RPM air gap intake. I've got Flowtech headers, long tubes. Not the most expensive set, but I've heard good things about them for being a cheap set of headers. They run about $188 at O'Reilly's. And I just installed my one-wire HEI GM style distributor. So we've got a long way since the last video, as you can tell. Just a really long way. I wanted to do some videos, but I just didn't have time messing with this thing. But I wanted to kind of do something for you guys. Installing this distributor, you know, this is kind of a tedious, important part of building your motor. And these GM one-wire distributors are really simple. They've just got a port on the back for the RPM tack, and then one for a hot wire to run to your ignition to run the coil on top. You ain't got no separate coil. Yeah, it's a big old chunky distributor, but I set mine in to where my vacuum advance is right in the middle. That seems to be a pretty popular spot. I'm going to try that. If I don't like it, I'm going to have to pull the distributor out and redo it. But I kind of wanted to go over the process. You know, I was kind of scared about doing this myself, but it's really not that bad once you think about it. Basically, you got your number one spark plug hole. You want it to be on top dead center on the compression stroke. So even though, got a light here, as you can see, I marked mine with a Sharpie, the lines and everything, even though it is on 0 right now, and that's before 0. That's not on 0, that's on the line before the 0. So it is advanced a little bit. You don't want it exactly on the 0, and you don't want it on the line after the 0. You want it on the line right before the 0, the last line, from what I understand. Basically, you need to have it on the top dead center on the compression stroke, and how you do that is you look at your rocker arms and turn the motor over until both your rocker arms are shut. Until they're both shut, and you'll put your finger over the spark plug hole as you turn the motor over, and you'll start feeling it kind of push out your finger as soon as these both shut. And you turn the motor over as it keeps pushing your finger, and it won't be a whole lot of pressure since you're just turning it over by hand. But you'll do that until you get on the 0, like I was just telling you, and that's top dead center, compression stroke. Both your valves are shut. As you can see on this side here, the intake valve's open. So on that other one, just for reference. But yep, I just wanted to show you that. But that's finding top dead center on the compression stroke. And then basically on your one wire distributor, you look up the diagram online for your firing order. I know mine. I don't have it with me right now, but basically you mark what port you want to use for number 1 cylinder, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people on these use the second one over from the block back here. So that's what I did. I marked it number 1. I marked it number 1 right where the port is for the plug, right here. Right here you can see number 1, and then on the bottom there I marked it right here. And that is for when you drop your distributor in, it'll move to the right to get on the cam gear, and then you're going to have to be dealing with getting on the oil pump drive shaft as well. So you want to basically line your rotor bug on the inside of your distributor up with the number 1 port when it's turning itself to the right. It'll be turning itself to the right, and that's what you need to do. You need to do it until it gets on the line. But that's just for keeping your vacuum advance where you want it. And basically, as long as you got your firing order right, you could have, I mean, it don't really matter, but I use number 1 right here. As long as your rotor bug is lined up with this port, or whatever port you're going to be using, and you're on top dead center on the compression stroke, because that's where that is going to be firing, you'll be good. So I just kind of wanted to make that video. It's not really that hard. Right now I've got my rotor bug right on this number 2 spark plug port, and I'll probably, before I start it up, I'll turn it just a hair to the right to advance the timing, just a hair, and we'll probably be pretty close right off the bat on where it's going to be firing at. So I just kind of wanted to make that video. It's just you think about it, and it is kind of hard, but it's just how these motors work together. I mean, you got top dead center compression stroke where number 1 is going to be firing, and it's right on there. So I mean, we can even advance it a little bit, turn it to the right, and then the rotor bug will hit that plug sooner before, and make this to where it's not all the way to the top yet, which will basically advance your timing. Now if you turn it this way, it'll really screw it up, because you're going to be retarding your timing, and you do not want it firing after the pistons start to travel down. That's not, the motor won't even run. It'd be bad on the motor. So I just kind of wanted to make that video. Give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will be finishing this truck soon. I know it's been a while. Just subscribe if you like it. I'm hoping I can start it up here soon. I've got the distributor to finish installing, wire up my wire it up, and then I've got my carburetor on the way. I'm going to the Holley 650 vacuum secondary electric choke. It should be here tomorrow, so it'll be a pretty good run, hot little motor for this truck. Eventually I'll put some aluminum heads on it, but just right now I'm not rich, so don't really have the money. But subscribe to my channel and you'll see a lot more on this thing. There it sits as of right now. It's got a transmission fluid leak somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from, but we will get it running. This kit for the stud mount rocker arms, you know, it's a pretty good kit. We're gonna try her out. It uses a stock everything. You can use whatever you want, but the rocker arms, you know, not saying you can't use whatever you want on the rocker arms, but you can use the kit for any Ford motor with the pedestal style rockers, because these have the same heads as the Mustang. They're the same exact heads. But these, you can only use crane cams, roller rockers with the crane cam kit. So they kind of get you there. They designed it to where it only works with their stuff. But from what I can see, they're good rocker arms. One thing about crane cams is they're really, really slow shipping stuff, so I warned you on that. But I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.